Puranic literature. Puranas. Kalki Purana describes the future Kalki avatar, end of Kali Yuga events, Dharma restoration, cosmic cycles, degeneration of society, moral collapse, renewal of righteousness, and avatar theology. Vishnu Purana cosmology, creation cycles, Vishnu avatars, dynasties, geography, timescales, bhakti philosophy, karma, moksha, and structured narration of cosmic order and preservation. Srimad Bhagavatam devotional cosmology, Krishna's life, bhakti yoga, avatars, metaphysics, liberation through devotion, renunciation, divine play, and philosophical dialogues on ultimate reality. Shiva Purana, Shiva theology, cosmology, lingam symbolism, creation-destruction cycles, Shaiva rituals, devotion, myths, metaphysics, and spiritual liberation through Shiva-centered worship. Linga Purana, symbolism of the Shiva Linga, cosmology, creation myths, Shaiva rituals, time cycles, and metaphysical interpretation of form, formlessness, and divine manifestation. Skanda Purana, sacred geography, pilgrimage sites, temples, legends of Skanda or Kartikeya, Shaiva Vaishnava integration, Dharma narratives, and mytho-historical descriptions of holy places. Markandeya Purana cosmology, Devi Mahatmya, cycles of destruction, Dharma discourse, moral philosophy, myths of gods and sages, and allegorical teachings on time and fate. Brahmanda Purana universal cosmology, creation of the cosmos, genealogies, time cycles, Lalita Sahasranama, and metaphysical structure of reality across kalpas and yugas. Vayu Purana creation myths, Shiva worship, genealogy of kings and sages, cosmology, geography, time cycles, and early Puranic narrative frameworks. Brahma Purana creation narratives, sacred geography, rituals, cosmology, lineage traditions, pilgrimage importance, and mythic explanations of cosmic origin. Narada Purana bhakti practices, devotional discipline, temple worship, cosmology, moral conduct, narration style, and emphasis on devotion as a path to liberation. 2. Astronomical, mathematical, and time science texts. Surya Siddhanta classical Indian astronomy detailing planetary motions, eclipses, time measurement, calendars, trigonometry, cosmic cycles, and mathematical models of celestial mechanics. Aryabhatiya mathematical astronomy covering arithmetic, algebra, trigonometry, planetary calculations, Earth's rotation, eclipses, and scientific cosmology. Brihat Samhita encyclopedic work on astronomy, astrology, meteorology, architecture, omens, geography, time cycles, and practical application of cosmic observations. Pancha Siddhantika, comparative synthesis of 5 astronomical systems, planetary theories, calendrical science, timekeeping, and mathematical harmonization of cosmological models. 3. Tantra and esoteric scriptures. Tantra Shastras ritual science covering mantra, yantra, mudra, deity worship, kundalini, subtle anatomy, spiritual power, liberation methods, and esoteric metaphysics. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra meditative, techniques for direct realization, consciousness exploration, breath, sound, awareness practices, and non-dual experiential awakening methods. Rudra Yamala ritual Tantra focusing on Shiva-Shakti union, mantra systems, initiations, esoteric rites, and transformative spiritual practices. Kularnava Tantra Kola tradition text covering guru-disciple lineage, initiation, inner alchemy, secrecy, liberation philosophy, and tantric ethics. Mahanirvana Tantra philosophical Tantra, integrating Advaita, ritual law, social conduct, mantra, Shakti worship, and liberation through knowledge and discipline. Yogini Tantra Shakta tantric text detailing goddess worship, chakras, rituals, sacred geography, inner yogic practices, and esoteric spiritual transformation. IV. Agamic literature. Agamas canonical manuals governing temple construction, deity installation, rituals, mantra systems, cosmology, and daily worship procedures. Shaiva Agamas Shiva-centric ritual systems detailing temple worship, metaphysics, mantra, initiation, liberation theology, and Shaiva philosophical structure. Vaishnava Agamas Vishnu-centric ritual texts covering temple worship, iconography, mantra, theology, devotion, and liturgical procedures. Shakta Agama's goddess-centered ritual manuals focusing on Shakti worship, yantras, mantras, tantric rites, cosmology, and spiritual empowerment. V. Yoga and inner science texts. Hatha Yoga Pradipika physical and energetic yoga, covering asana, pranayama, mudra, bandha, kundalini, purification and preparation for higher realization. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali systematic yoga philosophy, outlining mind control, Eightfold Path, meditation, samadhi, liberation and psychology of consciousness. Garanda Samhita 7-limb yoga system, emphasizing purification, posture, breath, mudra, meditation, and bodily preparation for spiritual awakening. Shiva Samhita Yogic metaphysics, subtle body, chakras, nadis, kundalini, meditation, and integration of yoga with non-dual philosophy. VI. Vedantic and philosophical texts. Upanishads core metaphysical texts, exploring Brahman, Atman, non-duality, consciousness, liberation, knowledge, and ultimate reality, through inquiry and dialogue. Brahma Sutras, systematic aphorisms, organizing Vedantic philosophy, interpreting Upanishads, defining Brahman, liberation, causality, and metaphysical coherence. Mandukya Karika Advaita philosophical exposition on consciousness states, non-duality, illusion, liberation, and ultimate reality beyond waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. 7. Dharma and Smriti literature. Manusmriti's social law code detailing dharma, duties, ethics, social order, rituals, governance, and moral responsibilities. Yajnavalkya Smriti refined legal ethical text on dharma, civil law, rituals, inheritance, governance, and spiritual conduct. Narada Smriti judicial and legal treatise emphasizing procedural law, dispute resolution, contracts, evidence, and justice systems. 30-word global summary. Cosmology, avatars, devotion, astronomy, mathematics, tantra, yoga, consciousness, metaphysics, law, ritual systems, temple science, time cycles, liberation philosophies, inner practices, and societal order across classical Indian spiritual literature. If you want JSON or Notion table, or CSV or taxonomy tree, say the format only. Old sets. Set 1. Understood. Below is a complete, organized list that includes every single book you gave, nothing missed, and adds other widely recognized important scriptures in the same domains. This is pure organization only, no ranking, no recommendations, no filtering. I. Puranic literature. A. Puranas, you gave these. Kalki Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 0. Vishnu Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 1. Srimad Bhagavatam, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 2. B. Other major Puranas. Shiva Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 3. Linga Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 4. Skanda Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 5. Markandeya Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 6. Brahmanda Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 7. Vayu Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 8. Brahman Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 9. Narada Purana, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 10. 2. Astronomical, mathematical, and time science texts. A. You gave Surya Siddhanta, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 11. B. Other core texts. Arya Bhatia, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 12. Brihat Samhita, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 13. Pancha Siddhantika, ChatGPT or generic entity. Number equals 14. 3. Tantra and esoteric scriptures. A. You gave. Tantra Shastras, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 15. B. Major individual tantras. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 16. Rudra Yamala, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 17. Kularnava Tantra, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 18. Mahanirvana Tantra, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 19. Yogini Tantra, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 20. IV. Agamic literature, temple, ritual, mantra systems. A. You gave. Agamas, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 21. B. Agama classifications. Shaiva Agamas, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 22. Vaishnava Agamas, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 23. Shakta Agamas, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 24. V. Yoga and inner science texts. A. You gave. Hatha Yoga Pradipika, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 25. B. Other core yoga texts. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 26. Garanda Samhita, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 27. Shiva Samhita, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 28. VI. Vedantic and philosophical texts. A. Upanishadic core. Upanishads, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 29. B. Post-Upanishadic works. Brahma Sutras, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 30. Mandukya Karika, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 31. 7. Dharma and Smriti literature. Manusmriti, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 32. Yajnavalkya Smriti, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 33. Narada Smriti, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 34. Result. All books you gave are included. No book removed. Additional important texts added only for completeness. Strictly organized by domain. No evaluation, no selection, no commentary. If you want the same list converted into a chart, or taxonomy, or JSON, or Notion-ready format, say the format and nothing else. Set 2. Kalki Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 0. Vishnu Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 1. Srimad Bhagavatam, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 2. Surya Siddhanta, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 3. Tantra Shastras, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 6. Agamas, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 7. Hatha Yoga Pradipika, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 8. Got it? You're asking for specific Hindu scriptures or technical texts, not the epics and not the Bhagavad Gita. You already covered some solid ground. Here's what's commonly missed but important, grouped cleanly so you can see the landscape. Puranas you didn't list. Key ones. You already have Vishnu Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 0. Kalki Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 1. Srimad Bhagavatam, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 2. Add these, Shiva Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 3. Shaiva cosmology, devotion, metaphysics. Linga Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 4. Symbolism of Shiva, creation theory. Markandeya Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 5. Includes Devi Mahatmya. Brahmanda Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 6. Time cycles, universe structure. Brahma Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 7. Early cosmological concepts. Skanda Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 8. Pilgrimage science, geography. Vayu Purana, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 9. One of the oldest, proto-scientific tone. Vedanta or philosophy, non-epic, non-Gita. Often skipped but core. Upanishads, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 10. Principal Upanishads as a group. Brahma Sutras, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 11. Mandukya Karika, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 12. Viveka Chudamani, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 13. Drigdrisha Viveka, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 14. Tantra or Shakta or esoteric. You listed Tantra Shastras broadly. These are the specific heavyweights. Rudra Yamala, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 15. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 16. Kularnava Tantra, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 17. Mahanirvana Tantra, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 18. Shiva Samhita, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 19. Yoga and inner science. You already listed Hatha Yoga Pradipika, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 20. Add Garanda Samhita, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 21. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 22. Siva Samhita, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 23. Jyotisha or time or cosmology. You correctly listed Surya Siddhanta, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 24. Very important. Also consider Aryabhatiya, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 25. Brihat Samhita, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 26. Brihat Parashara Horashastra, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 27. Agamas, you listed but clarification. Agamas are 3 streams, often confused. Shaiva Agamas, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 28. Vaishnava Agamas, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 29. Shakta Agamas, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 30. These govern temple design, rituals, mantras, and initiation, not philosophy alone. Dharma or social order, non-epic. Manusmriti, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 31. Yajnavalkya Smriti, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 32. Narada Smriti, ChatGPT, or generic entity. Number equals 33. Bottom line, blunt truth. If someone claims deep Hindu knowledge but hasn't at least touched Upanishads, major Puranas beyond Bhagavatam, 1 Tantra, 1 Agama, 1 Yoga Manual, Surya Siddhanta, they're operating on story-level Hinduism, not system-level Hinduism. If you want, I can rank these by depth versus danger. Some texts aren't beginner-safe. Suggest a reading order. Sanity-preserving. Separate philosophy versus ritual versus power texts. Just say the word.